What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
Are you ready for this?
It's the time of the season when love runs high. In this time, give it to me easy and let me try with pleasured hands to take you in the sun to promised lands, to show you everyone. It's the time of the season for loving. What's your name? Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
Is he rich like me? Has he take us anytime
to
show you what you need to live?
Okay. Welcome to the lighthouse, sit down, I ain't like y'all. King on sevens, I done bled through every trial. Sword on my back, hey, axe on my back, hey. I just want my anchors, you could keep your plaques, hey. Don't start cutting kins, PG, that's fact, hey. DMV ain't no faking, we ain't cut like that, hey. Don't start cutting kins, PG, that's fact, hey. DMV ain't no faking, we ain't cut like that, hey, hey, hey. Drop from the heavens, landed in the dirt. On tilt, but I still did the work. Prayers in the kitchen, paint on the stove. Every scar on my body is a story I wrote. Trials and tribulations, all on my name. Still waiting on revelations. Truth in the flame. I'm beyond angels, I'm a man, I'm brave. Test me, try me, that's a gamble with death. Welcome to the lighthouse, sit down, I ain't like y'all. King on sevens, I done bled through every trial. Sword on my back, axe on my back. Want my anchors, you can keep your plaques. Don't start counting kins, PG, that's fact. DMV ain't no faking, we ain't cut like that. Don't start counting kins, PG, that's fact. DMV ain't no faking, we ain't cut like that. I protect mine first, that's the only command. Family in the circle, I'ma die where I stand. Stepping through the county like a walk-in prayer. Every hater in the rear, they just think cold air. I don't chase that trophy, I want roots, not fame. Give me land, give me love, keep your golden name. From the block to the clouds, I done paid my lane. When they spell out greatness, they gon' write my name. Ooh. On sevens, I done bled through every trial. Sword on my back, axe on my back. I just want my anchors, you can keep your plaques. Don't start counting kings, PG, that's fact. DMV ain't no faking, we ain't cut like that. Don't start counting kings, PG, that's fact. DMV ain't no faking, we ain't cut like that.
Man, much respect. Hold up. Oh shit, I forgot to put it off. My bad. Music on repeat. We can listen to it, but I'm just saying, let's go ahead and get this bad boy going. Nancy, if you would be oh so kind. Oh, so thank you. Yeah, buddy. All right, y'all. Hold on. Let me get this set. It's too loud. There we go. Let's get it down to about right there. Respect. Welcome back to another episode of Smitty's Corner, aka Lighthouse _ 301. Man, much respect to the family. So I am up here, man. There she go right there, man. There go my partner. There go my partner in this animal crime. There go the fur mama. What's going on, baby? I see you in the building. Shout out. You already know. So what we're gonna do is I'm up here right now with the missus. We're gonna have a nice little discussion. Yeah, we're gonna talk about some things. What are we going to talk about, Smitty? What exactly are you going to be talking about with the missus right now? I don't know. Maybe you just gonna have to stick around and find out. Let's see exactly where my mind is right now. What's going on, Riaz? Inshallah, Aki. I see you in the building. I appreciate you coming through. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy going. First and foremost, oh so lovely, beautiful. Say, how are you?
I'm well, thank you.
So, what we're going to be doing is, you know, what I figured out we have like a nice little niche, a little thing that we do is we like to go back and forth about movies. So, I can't even blame the missus for this one. Jen, this is on you. That's right. That's right, Jen. I blame you. Why are you shaking your head? Because you're wrong. Well, I'm not wrong. No, I blame Jen. I said it. She know I said it. Anyway, Jen, yeah, that movie Last House. We watched it last night. Like you suggested, we actually sat down and watched it. Now, of course, I saw more than her because the missus fell asleep. She fell asleep. But we went on ahead and we finished the movie today. So I want to give my first take on my review of the movie. So we're going to start from, let's just go from plot. Confusing. Because it was. Why you got that look on your face, babe? Listen, love, it was very, very confusing for the simple. No, it was because remember, we didn't know it was aliens. Let's remember how the movie started. The movie started with the man on a fishing dock. He was fishing. It looked like a tornado, a storm was coming in. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, this about to be one of those like, 2012 type jumps, right? Maybe Godzilla's going to come out the water. Nope, none of that. You know what they had? Aliens. There wasn't a news broadcasting. No one said any damn thing about how the shit came about. So I'm just going to start with plot. Babe, I'm going to have to give plot a 1 out of 5 stars. 1 out of 5 stars for the plot. The plot itself was just, I was like disappointed because there was really no background on where they came from, what their mission was, what they're supposed to do. At least in Independence Day, they actually did give some kind of background to what it is that these aliens consisted of. But what you got? I give it a 1 out of 5 stars.
You don't have to describe you don't have to have a reason of why the aliens are there. Did we not watch The Quiet Place? Nobody knows why they came or what happened, why the aliens came or whatever those things were, right? You don't have to. Yes, Independence Day did describe what was going on, but everything doesn't have to have a description. I'll give it about a 3 out of 5. It was an enjoyable. It was. Listen, as long as it entertains me and doesn't bore me, then it's cool. Like, is the plot to I'm not looking at, like, sometimes I do look at plots and like the plot sucked or whatever, but it kept me entertained enough to keep it on and not turn it off, and that's my thing. So that's automatically getting a 3. No, it didn't make sense at the end. Like, you're like, what the hell? Oh, okay. So this whole entire time it was aliens. We don't understand why they were ever locked in their home and could never come out. That's a thing that was for me. But at the same time, I don't, and I didn't understand the water situation. Like, why were they looking so dirty, but they had water? That bothered me. But other than that, it was a solid 3 out of 5. I mean, maybe a 3.5.
You heard what you just said, right? Heard how you just recognized they was able to grow corn in the damn house, but somehow or another they couldn't bathe and shit. How you got all that water to grow vegetation?
They were conserving water. Maybe they didn't. We don't know because it didn't give an explanation as of that, but it didn't take away from the movie. I feel like maybe it was just they were conserving water because at one point, do you remember when he was like, "We can put the tarp out"? At one point, he was like, "We can put the tarp out and collect the dew," right? So clearly, at one point, they did not have water, and they were collecting water for a reason. So maybe that is given.
The first hour of the movie was all rain. They had a chimney. They were able to get rodents, possums, and skunks. We're going to get to the skunk. We're going to get to the skunk. Yeah. Anyway, so you telling me rain couldn't come down that chimney shaft? You all couldn't put a bucket? Why didn't they have a scene where they show how they was collecting rainwater from the bucket coming down the chimney?
Why did it have to be shown? We know they were collecting water because they were talking about collecting water. So I don't understand why we would have to see a scene of them collecting water. If you're talking about it, you don't have to see it.
So you just like to skip steps. Stupid as shit. I'm just saying, like the movie plot. Okay, all right. So let's move on to the next part. All right. The main villain. No description of the main villain. There was nothing that gave us an indication of why the villain was there. We didn't even know what it was. As a matter of fact, in the very beginning of the movie, I remember when the little girl was like playing or drawing by the window, and then she started doing her finger on the rain, and it started, in the rain, started to mold. You remember that part, babe? Right. So my whole point, this is my whole point. It made no sense because at the very beginning, they had us under the illusion that the enemy was rain. And I'm like, here they go again, taking nature. Here go Lake Placid. You know, they made a movie with a hippo attacking a group of white folks on a safari. Yeah, I know. You see what I'm saying?
It didn't give me that the rain had anything to do with what was going on. It just made me think that somebody was altering the rain. It didn't give me a feeling that nature was the problem.
Okay, so look, you remember the scene, the little girl, she was drawing, and then how many times have all of us have like drawn letters or written our name or something, or a heart or whatever with a little arrow in the middle on a rain window, right? The little steam fog, right? We've all done that before, beloved. My whole thing is when we saw the way the water was forming with her fingers, and remember I said, yep, that's a sign right there. I guarantee you they're going to explain more later on as to why, and they didn't. And that was some bull. I never figured out how the rain moves. I never figured out how does the aliens control the weather. Even down to just them being locked in the house. How did they make it so that glass can't break? Go ahead. Run to the bathroom. Yeah, Mrs. Gonna run to the restroom. How did they make it so that the glass can't break? I'm lost on all of that. See, that's the shit right there that I just can't seem to wrap my mind around. So when we're watching a movie, my main thing that I look for is a brief. Don't go too in depth with the backstory, but give me a brief background of exactly what was going on. I mean, I need that. You see what I'm saying? Tell me why whatever's happening is happening, even if you give us little flashbacks throughout the midst of the movie, right? We all know how they sprinkle it in at a little flashback moment here. You see a key card there. Oh, snap. So that's what that meant there. You see how it works? So that's all that I'm saying. I was just extremely disappointed in how all of that worked out, even down to how it all played out as far as them going towards the end, right? After the mom goes through the tunnel, and I'm just trying to figure out what was it about that house that she was in where she felt like she had to just stay there? Why did she have to stay there? What was the point of her just staying there? Why does she have to go ahead and write a message to her house that she should just be on a mission of get in and out of? You see where I'm at? So it's a whole lot of things that I'm just saying how they survived. They did not go into real good detail, in my opinion. They didn't go into good detail about how this movie actually came to be. Even in the end of it, they still didn't explain shit. We don't know what happened to the aliens. We don't know if they got, if they got rid of them. We don't know what daggone thing. So I'm just saying, I don't know. That's just kind of my piece on that. You smell me now? I'm just really, what? Exactly what? Oh, on what part? Exactly. So you know what I'm talking about, right? When she was in the house and she just standing around, like, let's just be for real. You don't have a heightened awareness. Like, see, that's the problem when you live your life too comfortable, right? But anyway, overall, now that I gave my take, I'm going to give the movie an overall, I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 tomatoes. I give it 2 out of 5. What you got, babe?
Again, solid 3.5. It did leave a lot to be desired because we don't know what was going on. And honestly, at the end, I feel like they still weren't free. Now you're just on the ocean. It's like you're inside of a house, but you're just on the ocean. So it left a lot to be desired. However, it was enjoyable. I was interested, invested the whole movie before I fell asleep, but it didn't have nothing to do with me being bored. I was just sleepy. I'm just a sleepyhead when it comes to late nights. But 3.5 for me.
You give it a 3.5?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, a 3.5 on that one. All right, so the next movie that we watched, we also just got finished the movie 72 Hours with Kevin Hart. Now, I got a much better review for that one. All right, I'm a little more optimistic with that one. As typical as it was, I'll give it to him. Now, I'm just gonna let you know this. I am sick of Hollywood and these dick references, and anybody who saw the movie knows exactly which scenes I was talking about. Listen, don't you just pop up something swirling doing a helicopter on my screen and I don't get no type of warning. I don't like that. What do you mean? They should go ahead and put up on their warning, dick getting ready to arrive. What are you talking about? They should put it in the movie for people who are straight.
But my thing is none of those people in the movie were gay. None of them were gay. Sometimes listen, we understand coming from, let's remember, coming from where I'm coming from. What? White people think that shit is funny. That's all I'm saying. They're like, oh, dick wagging, it's not.
They're also the same people that find it a joke to just have a golf ball go smooth into their balls.
Wait, what?
Jackass. Go look at Jackass.
Okay, I'm not watching Jackass anymore. That's nobody. I never watched Jackass, but it's not really. It's something you should be able to just be like, okay, that's nasty, and keep it moving. Like, it shouldn't affect you very much. It shouldn't, because it's just quick. It's not nothing like they're literally right. exactly what I'm saying. This is what white people do. They do exactly this. This is how they are. This is how they joke in their culture 100%. And I'm telling him the same thing. That's how I was raised, and I know that's how white guys act. That's what they do. They make, and to them it's not gay, to them, and to me it's not gay. And in the movie none of them were gay, but it was
You're a woman.
Nobody was gay in the movie, were they?
You're a woman.
Was there any gay person in the movie?
Kevin Hart put a whale's dick to his face.
He didn't know it was a whale's dick.
They knew they were whale's dick when they washed up the shore.
No.
They said it on the pirate ship. He said these are whale dicks with antibiotics. And he said, well, how you know about whale's dicks? And then his boy was like, well, I've been studying them online for a little bit.
No, what happened was Kevin Hart picked them up. He did not know they were whale dicks. The other dude was like, oh, those are whale dicks. See, exactly. A group chat of black men don't have chats like that. They don't.
Facts.
This is white men. As I'm telling you, white men are a different breed of people. And until you deal with them regularly, you don't know what type of breed of people they are. They're not gay. They're just weird as hell. And that's just how it is.
It's gay. So anyway, moving along. What I really, really loved about the movie, I'm not going to lie. What was his name when he was sniffing the cocaine? Ricardo? I ain't gonna lie. when my man was Ricardo, he said, "Put the phone on Pika." Put it on Pika.
That's how they do this. People have that accent and they have that little bit of like they don't pronounce certain letters and the shit is hilarious.
Man. Nah, so I mean, definitely, a lot of the scenes in that movie, the humor was definitely on point. I just recognize that there's no way you're going to get around Hollywood comedy today in 2026 without getting around a couple dick jokes. Like, you're just gonna have to accept there's gonna be some dick jokes in Hollywood. I just didn't like the screenshot they showed, and y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Like for real. Nah, that was a violation. That not like that's a violation.
And then white men don't have.
How you know what white men don't have? Let me not ask that question. Moving along.
Remember.
Okay. Got you. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So now this is where we are, right? So basically, love, you know, I have been hearing a lot of people talk about, and I got a video for us, okay? Now, I've been hearing a lot of people talk about how, for some reason, because I know horror is your favorite genre, right? And for some reason, people are saying they're just not as scary anymore.
It's hard to scare anybody. Literally, it's hard to scare anybody anymore. Like, we all, for people that watch horror regularly, we all can generally, what's the word? We can
What, you adapt?
no, not adapt, but we can generally know what the movie's about. Like once we get to a certain point, we can predict what's going to happen. So it doesn't become scary anymore because there's so many storylines that are very similar.
Okay.
I am looking for a scary movie right now, and if anybody knows any that's gonna scare me or make me bite my fingernails or be like, shit, I don't want to turn my lights out, that's what I want to see. I want to see that type of shit. That's what I want.
Okay. So what was the last scary movie that I'm talking about, even if it was like back during teenager days or whatever? What was the last scary movie where you was like, I can't sleep by myself, or I don't want to turn the lights out, that really had you disturbed?
Okay. And everybody's gonna laugh because I don't think anybody else was probably scared of it, but I was at home alone, and mind you, shut your mouth. I was at home alone, and I had picked up the DVD. This is years ago, of course, because who has DVDs anymore? But I picked up the DVD 13 Ghosts.
Okay.
I put it on. My cousin used to always make fun of me. She was like, you're the only heifer I ever know that can sit in here and watch a scary movie. Ain't no lights on in the house. You in the house alone. And we had an 8-bedroom house. Literally, we all in the house. And nobody's in there. Just me in the dark in my room.
Right.
There was a part in 13 Ghosts where there was the jackal who was inside of a cage. Like, his head was in a cage and his arms were up. And he came running towards the screen. When I tell you I jumped backwards from the screen and got up and turned all my lights on in my room.
Oh, wow.
Scary to me. It was weird because what are you and what is happening? It bothered me. It bothered me really bad. But that's the scariest movie. And then there's Lights Out. I don't know if anybody has seen Lights Out, where the scenes where the lady she thinks she sees something, so she turns the light off. But then she turns it back on and she sees nothing. But then she turns the light off again and she sees it again. And every time it gets closer. What in the hell is wrong with you? Quit turning the goddamn light out. I don't.
It's just how they go. But this is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and pull this up right here, right? So I have this video. So you let me know when you want me to pause it, when it's certain moments and stuff, or I'll pause it and ask you what you think about this and everything else that this guy has given us of his view on as far as horror movies today. All right. So this is about horror movies today. Let's go.
You ever notice how every time Hollywood runs out of ideas, it goes crawling back to the 1980s?
You said you want that shirt.
I want his shirt.
Like it's an ex who suddenly discovered that you were the greatest thing they ever had. Every few years, we get a Halloween reboot, Stranger Things, It, Evil Dead Rise, Ghostbusters Afterlife. Hell, they even brought back Chucky and Hellraiser. And don't get me wrong, some of those are fun, but they all prove one thing, and that's that the 1980s, along with the 70s and even a little bit of the 90s, were the golden age of horror. Those were the decades when horror mattered.
What's your take on that? Have they watered it down?
Yes. Horror was so much better in the 80s, and I still literally watch 80s movies. There are some of Bruce Campbell, even though he's known for what do you call it? Comedy, horror comedy. He is one of the icons. You got him, Chucky, Jason, Michael Myers. All of those are some of the best horrors because they're slashers. They're not really that gory, but they have a nice backstory. And you can.
What about Michael?
I said Michael Myers.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And you can rest. Oh, I might not have. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't think you.
But you can rest on them being bangers. They're literally gonna entertain you, and you're gonna be entertained with what's going on.
Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and get back to the video. Let's see what they say.
When movies were dangerous, creative, and connected to audiences in ways modern horror just can't seem to replicate.
Wait a minute. Tremors was considered a horror?
I think it was.
Really?
It sucks though because I can't remember.
I thought the Tremors was more so of suspense
But
suspense
it's a creature
thriller.
feature. It's a creature feature.
Okay, creature. No, sci-fi.
Considered horror / sci-fi. Yes.
Right.
It sucks because the guy he just died recently, maybe like last year. But yes, Tremors, that was my shit. This is can't think of what it is, but I've seen it.
No, he's probably.
It's where he reanimates his mom and brain something. I can't remember.
Let's go ahead and see.
And this isn't just nostalgia.
That's,
it is fact. Horror back then.
That one.
It looked like Gremlins.
No, it's not Gremlins. It is a short story in Tales from the Crypt. No, not Tales from the Crypt. It's a short story where the mom, like the mom gets like.
Are You Afraid of the Dark?
No, that's a kids show.
That was very scary. Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now.
Well, were you watching it when you were? Wait, you're young.
I was 21 years old and I watched them replays.
Dark and being scared because my kids were watching them. Are You Afraid of?
Are you laughing at me right now?
A little bit.
You are a little bit. Okay. No. Don't be sorry. That's not the point. That's not the point. See, there you go, moving the goalposts. I'm telling you about my trauma. My trauma came from It came from Are You Afraid of the Dark? It came from Are You Afraid of the Dark? Okay. And it came from when I used to read R.L. Stein.
Oh, everybody loves R.L. Stein.
No, you do. It was disturbing to me. You do. That's a you thing. All right. R.L. Stein, and I ain't gonna lie, the movie that really just effed my head up as a kid out of Freddy Krueger, Jason, Michael Myers, Chucky. I'm sorry. To this day, I don't know if I can really still watch Puppet Master. Yeah, nobody talks about that. Puppet Master is very disturbing. Very disturbing.
But that's what
You remember the little small dude with the scissor hands and stuff?
the dude with the head
That had the drill. It had the drill.
Of course. Puppet Master is one of my all-time favorite horror movies.
I'm just saying.
No matter what Puppet Master it was. I did, however, try to watch a Puppet Master that was recent, like maybe like 5 years ago. Horrible. Wasn't even worth watching.
Every time they try to revamp something, it's very rare that they actually do it the way it's supposed to be done. Let's get back to it.
Was cultural currency, not just disposable content. It was physical. It was handmade. It was alive. So today we're going to pour one out for the blood-soaked glory days when monsters ruled the box office, practical effects made your stomach turn, and video rental stores were the altar where horror fans discovered their religion. So pop that tape in. I got you. Let's go do this. All right. So horror films back then versus now. We're going to dive into this. I'm going to tell you from a filmmaking standpoint, there is no comparison. Even though I'm a fan of some of the horror stuff that comes today, it just can't compete with what came before. And we're going to dive into why, starting with not the 80s, which a lot of people think of as the boom of horror with all the icons, and that's true. But we're going to start in the 1970s when horror got real. This was the decade where horror grew up, or maybe it just got meaner. America at the time was in chaos. You had Vietnam on TV every night, Watergate in the headlines, serial killers in the papers, and cultural hangover from all of that stuff kind of just made people suspicious and cynical of everything. So naturally, horror films decided to stop pretending to be about vampires and castles and things like that and started asking scarier questions like, what if the devil moved into your daughter, The Exorcist? Or what if the nice folks down the street, down the road, they were, actually cannibals with chainsaws, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. These weren't glossy sort of studio thrillers. They were independent. They were gritty, in some cases, guerrilla style nightmares.
Now, this is what I want to know. So he said that even back then, that was the golden days, 70s, 80s, 90s. But we all know that we have the best technology that money can buy today. How is it that people actually, from your genre of favorite movies, believe that it's not as good, even though we're able to make it look a lot better? Like, for example, we're able to take movies that we had as like Ninja Turtles, right? Like the CGI graphics on the Ninja Turtles that they had recently was dope. Now, everybody, for the most part, who really knows about it would say the original 90s version was the best, simply because it's the classic. But I'm just saying, to land it, love, how is it that a genre of movie such as horror was able to have more of an impact with less graphics, less CGI than what we're able to have with what the best that money can buy today?
I think that's because horror doesn't really need, you don't need, the graphics help, of course, 100%. But if we're just talking about fear-induced things, like let's say you come home, right? You notice something ain't right. A door's open and something's wrong. That's natural fear. You don't need CGI or any of those things to scare you because it's already a natural thing that's happening. So that's what's making it like Jason, like
You mean like if you walk in a house and I just got a frog on the floor and you look at it and it's having babies out its back?
First of all, what we're not going to do is use my tritryptophobia to use that against me, please.
I'm just saying.
But what I'm saying is it's a natural fear. They're feeding off things that are natural. If you're already naturally having that fear of, nobody wants somebody in their house that's not supposed to be there. Nobody wants somebody trying to kill them in their house. If you come home and you close, like these stupid white girls come in and they're like, oh my God, did I leave that door open? Damn, let me close it and lock it. After it's been open for an hour and a half, you've been home for an hour and a half. You're like, oh dang, did I? Oh shoot, I think I left it open. Let me lock it. Mind you, the killer's in there because they already came in. That's why they left the damn door open. But my thing is that it's a natural thing. It's more natural. So that's how come they can get away with it without a whole lot of CGI, because they didn't need it. It was natural fear.
Oh, hold on. We gotta just real quick for that one. Let's get back to it.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre costs less probably to make than your average Marvel catering budget for one day, and it made millions. Halloween was shot in 20 days for what is considered peanuts today, and it gave us the modern template for all slasher films to follow it. Back then, too, today we really rely on the jump scares, but back then It wasn't about jump scares every 5 minutes. The movies had atmosphere, a gravitas, a grit.
What's the difference when they say nowadays it's just jump scare? What do they mean by that?
They mean they're luring you in. Like, it might not even be anything happening. Like, you can be in your, let's say you're in a house, same situation. You're in your house, you're sitting down. The music swells. It's like, and then you go around the corner to try to see if somebody's in there. Nobody's really there, but then the music's like, boom. And then you, oh shit, because you thought somebody was there. That's a jump scare. That's what a jump scare is. They're heightening your sense of alertness. Like, that's what they're doing. Like, they want to make sure you're actually paying attention. That's what give you your jump scare.
I'm gonna tell you, when you talk about that sound effect stuff, you know what was the height of it for me? And I wonder, how come horror movies don't use this no more? Because I know it can still work. I'm gonna take you back. You ready? Here we go. Remember this sound when something scary is about to happen? No. Wait. Remember this? Night of the Living Dead, I think.
It's neither.
I think it is. No,
It's not Night of the Living Dead. It's definitely Jason.
I think it's Jason. Yeah.
Definitely Jason. And what's crazy is, fun fact, I know stupid shit for no reason. They they say that the way they came up with that sound was and you're not gonna, no wait, I might be wrong. I'm trying to remember. There's two sounds. One of them is a sound of a cat that they slowed down really long, and they made a cat. But this one, it was words.
It was words.
It was words. It was two words. It was like, can't catch me. So it was, and they drug it out, and they made it can't. Yes, yeah. So it gives you. I'm stupid. Like, I'm mixing up my facts right now, but I'm pretty sure it was can't catch something.
Oh shit.
What is that?
Baby.
Oh, okay. I'll go.
Hold on. No, I got the door.
Oh, okay.
You stay right here and talk to the people.
So I'm pretty sure.
I got the door.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But I know stupid facts I know a lot of dumb facts about things that I shouldn't. And if y'all want to verse me on trivia, everybody knows. Everybody picks me because I'm the best. So I win all the trivia things because I know useless facts. Play?
Yeah, just push it. Yeah, just click it again.
Am I pressing something wrong? Where does it have to go? Oh,
No, right side.
right here. I see it.
No, you can just hit the screen.
I did. It didn't come on.
No, you have to do it again. No, go up to the screen. There you go, push it. No, go up to the screen. Push it.
What am I pressing wrong? Is it a button wrong?
Double click.
What am I pressing wrong?
I don't know.
To them, a paranoia and a dread that kind of reflected the world they were in, a world of change, a world that was kind of falling apart around people. And the result was you got filmmakers who realized you didn't need big stars or money to terrify people. You just needed an idea that could get under their skin, a dose of realism, something that could connect them to the material they were watching and make it feel like it was a part of their neighborhood just right down the street. Amityville Horror, Real Life Murders, based on a true story.
Exactly.
Exorcist, based on a true story. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, sort of a take on a real serial killer. All these things that had this tinge of truth to them, and then take all those safety nets of your suburban upper middle class lifestyles and you toss those out on their head and you make those unsafe with things like Halloween. The 70s had some really critically acclaimed foundational horror that had grit to it that you just don't see today.
Sunday, the Ridgely Theater in Fort Worth had the biggest day in its entire history. It sold more than The Godfather, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, Superman, and Love Story. But the biggest surprise to theater employees is the number of parents bringing young children to see Alien. Are you sorry, sir, that you brought your son along to see Alien?
No, ma'am, I think he should have seen it. It's something that he needs to know, that things like that could happen in life. That could be a true story. Based on, science. We never know what's going on the outside of the world.
That's all you gotta do.
Okay.
Yeah, listen, babe. When you want to pause it, see how it is.
What am I?
We taking this?
Look right,
Okay,
yeah, the
okay.
right. Yeah. You gotta hit this right.
Okay, because
Yeah.
it went exactly with what I was saying about the fact that
You
these.
want me to go back some?
You don't have to go back, or
Okay.
they already looking at it. They don't want to go backwards.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is this goes back to what I was saying about giving an initial, like, the fear of realness. That's what they were talking about. Like this being based on three things being based on a true story, like The Exorcist being based on a true story. The fact that Amityville was a regular house and that you can go live in a house and be haunted. You know what I'm saying? Or be possessed or whatever. All of these things that are true stories, they hinge on things that bother people. These are things that are real fears. So this is what makes 80s horror more believable and more liable to scare the hell out of you, if I can't say anymore else.
A lot of horror pictures and things like, because we like horror movies. We're horror buffs, I guess.
Or maybe, as psychologists keep telling us, we Americans are becoming more and more immune to excessive behavior. Bobby Wygant, the Texas News.
And then there's the 1980s, and this is when horror becomes pop culture. This is when horror becomes mainstream. It becomes iconic. It becomes something that is created not just for entertainment then and connect to the audience then, but throughout the years that would follow. So if the 70s were the sort of revolution of horror's revolution, the 80s were the boom and the victory lap for horror, because it didn't just make money in the 1980s. It owned the decade of the 1980s. Horror became cool. It was colorful, gory, funny, and endlessly creative. Freddy Krueger cracking jokes on MTV. Jason Voorhees became a household name. Kids wore Elm Street and Ghostbusters t-shirts to school. Horror was no longer something that you hid from your parents.
I'm gonna say this. This is what I'm gonna say. I believe that the old school horror was a lot more scary, genuinely, babe, because it didn't have the graphics. Like, I'm gonna be real with you, like the cheesy ass costumes. Like, I'm serious. Some of them were very, very disturbing. You know what? Matter of fact, perfect example of disturbing costumes back during that time. The characters of Hellraiser. They were absolutely monstrous. They were. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't believe, like, nowadays it's like, we can create something that looks a certain way. Now, you know who really does horror the right way nowadays that Americans wish we had? Japanese. Japanese horror is like that.
I've told you this before. I've told you Japanese horror is my favorite horror. They get the graphics right. Their scare tactics are crazy. It's coming from nowhere. I've told you this before, baby. I love Japanese horror. Japanese horror is my favorite genre of horror. And if I can watch and I don't care that I have to watch it dubbed. He don't want to watch any any subtitles. But if I have to watch it subtitled, I will watch it subtitled, because He lying. Well, my favorite, when I tell you my favorite horror movies are almost always Japanese, like Train to Busan. That, because zombies are my favorite horror genre. Train to Busan, that is the best zombie movie you're ever gonna watch. There's also what is it called? Sugar Honey Iced Tea. Elixir. The Elixir, that's also like a great zombie movie. It's on Netflix. Check it out. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's gonna leave you wanting more. I'm promising. But zombie movies are my favorite, and Japanese always do it the best. But Japanese horror is always the best horror. I have watched so many of those. Like I just watched a couple the other day. I just said that. I just said their zombie movies are the best. So it just depends on where you're watching from and what you enjoy. I enjoy Japanese horror very much. And so with that being said,
It was pop culture. It was ubiquitous. Everybody was in on the fun. And the best part is during this time, the movies were allowed to find their audiences. Back then, studios didn't have algorithms or social media analytics to guide them. They had VHS shelves and word of mouth. A weird, bloody indie like The Evil Dead could be banned from theaters and then become a cult hit thanks to word of mouth and video rentals. Fans would pass tapes around like contraband, and that's how legends were born. It was, did you see this movie? I got a copy of The Evil Dead. I got a copy of Faces of Death. Have you seen this? Have you seen Humanoids from the Deep? Hey, do you know what that's about? Look at this tape. The horror section at your mom and pop video store and later Blockbuster Video Hollywood Video.
so if anybody's seen the new Faces of Death, right? So it basically revolves around a lady who is I guess we all know how real it is, like if you work for YouTube or whatever. So they basically catch content and void it if it's wrong, right? Like, so if it's not the right type of content, they will delete it so that you can't post it, right? So there's a lady who's finding this content and she's thinking that it's real, so she's initially not reporting it. She just thinks it's a big joke, but initially she starts to report it. It's not like a regular Faces of Death where we were just watching these people getting murdered or like dying. Like, I will never forget where I saw the guy trying to get on the helicopter. This is again the original Faces of Death was like 1995 or 1994.
No, the original Faces of Death was Bone Thugs and Harmony. Thank you very much.
Sir, we're not talking about we're not talking about an album label.
Oh, my bad.
We're talking about a movie. So basically, it's a guy who's, I will never forget because it sticks to my brain. There's two of them. One of them is him he's going to get on the helicopter, but as he's going to get on the helicopter, he's not paying attention and he gets his head cut off, right? And this is a live thing. These are real things that really happen. These are real people. And then there's the other one where these people come, they're on vacation, and they're like, we want to experience some exoticness. We want exotic food. And like, oh, we got monkey brains, right? But monkey brains aren't monkey brains. Oh, they are monkey brains. I can't say they're not. They're monkey brains. However, they got to kill the monkey while they're in there. The monkey is alive in the middle of the table, looking like Sakura or a Japanese steakhouse. And the monkey is sitting in the middle, and they're all sitting around waiting to chop the monkey in the head. So it does not live up to the newest one. Literally is just her trying to decide if the videos that she's seeing are true. So she entails the help of someone else, and they try to figure it out, and then it just becomes a longer thing after that. I will not reveal the end because, just in case you guys want to watch it, I'm not going to spoil it for you. But yeah.
She dies. No, it's like, I don't know.
Love,
I don't even know. I don't even know if she do. I haven't seen it. I was just playing. Y'all. I was just playing.
So annoying.
Video in the late 80s into the 90s and stuff. It didn't matter if you were 13 or 35. You would pick your movie based entirely on insane box art that looked awesome. Like Basket Case or From Beyond, or even the Evil Dead with the hand reaching out, are some of the ones that were a little less known, like Demons always stuck out to me, Fright Night with the girl, all these different things. And then your, of course, B-movie horror, Slumber Party Massacre with the big drill, so suggestive. All of that stuff helped ingrain horror.
Why you keep giving me that look? What, I smell good? What? What I smell like? What I said? Shut up.
Into the pop culture, and we're not even talking practical effects yet, because those were sort of the big missing ingredient that we don't have today. The 1980s.
Right there. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be so. Right there, perfect example. Love, do you remember when I was talking about how
that we don't
there
have?
What was the name of this damn movie again? Shit, somebody please, if you type it in the chat for me if you know the name of this movie. This is what I mean by extra disturbing. Like, you don't see this like this no more. And when you go back and look at it, it really is. You keep smelling me. It smells good. I smell good. You keep smelling me. Come on, baby. But real talk, you don't see that no more.
Today, the 1980s were like the Olympics for practical effects done in real time. You had Rob Bottin on The Thing, or Humanoids from the Deep. You had Rick Baker transforming werewolves in American Werewolf in London, or Tom Savini painting the walls red.
Tom Savini. So I never. So with me being a horror fan, I have never liked, and this might disturb some people, I've never liked ghosts, vampires, or werewolves. Hey, just my preference. I like horror, but I don't like those things. Now,
like it's not scary to you, like it's not your preference.
No, I just don't prefer to watch them. Okay. Now, American Werewolf in London. The original, not the new. They have a newer one. The original one. That is watchable for me. I'm gonna sit down and watch it every time it come on. Right. Okay. Then we got. So, like I said before, something can always pique your interest, whether you don't like it or not. All right. So, mind you, remember what I said, right? Werewolf, vampire, ghost, right? There is a series out. It's not, it's over now. But it's called Being Human. And those exact things are the show. A ghost who resides in a house where a werewolf and a vampire rent a house from. We know it's a BBC series, but Sci-Fi Channel also remade it. Best shit I ever seen in my life. Okay. So everything can change. It doesn't have to be, because you don't like something. It can always change. So, but American Werewolf in London, hell yeah. That's one of my faves. I will watch that every time it comes on. Every single time.
So, babe, you want to add this thing?
What does that mean?
Push it. Not going to push. Yep.
In Friday the 13th, or however many other horror movies that were out there, these guys were not hiding behind CGI. They were inventing nightmares in real time. Latex, blood pumps, miniatures, puppets, actual craftsmanship. That's why the gore in movies like The Fly still makes people gag today, while modern CGI blood looks like a video game cutscene. There's a tactility to those old practical effects. It just hits home and it stays with you. And when practical effects hit, you can really feel them. Whereas today, CGI gets pumped out of a server farm by 50 overworked artists on a deadline, and it's about as scary as a screensaver. When it's all done, it has no soul. It has no feeling of realness, of being there, of existing in real time. And that just takes away so...
Chill. Chill. Why?
It's not making me mad.
I know it's not. It's doing something else.
Yeah, because what the...
What? What do you mean put it back? I'm putting it on.
So much from the experience of horror that we had in the 80s, that we had in the 70s and in the early 90s. And that made such a difference between then and now. The 80s also saw the launch of pop culture icons, characters that would be on the Mount Rushmore of not just horror icons, but of pop culture icons. Today, some 30, 40 years later, you can ask almost anyone passing on the street. You could grab them and say, have you heard of Friday the 13th and Jason? Have you heard of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies and Freddy Krueger? Have you heard of the Halloween movies and Michael Myers? And they're mostly going to say yes. Have you heard of Jaws? Yes. All those kind of things. And even the movies that are trying to get there today, like the Terrifier series with Art the Clown, it's really contained more to a niche because we don't have the video rental stores. We don't have a way.
That's one that honestly, oh no, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why. I throw rocks and bottles at clowns. I don't do clowns. I don't do it. I don't do Pennywise. I don't do none of that.
You would never watch that.
I don't do nothing clowns. I don't.
It's if anyone has,
No, it's because it's a clown.
no, it's not.
There's something wrong with him. The only clown that's ever been able to get away with being in my face and I didn't flinch, nope, homie.
Oh, Homie the clown from The Simpsons. I mean, Homie the clown from In Living Color. Okay, no, but I'm saying I don't think that you would be able to do the clown, the Terrifier, only because not just because he's a clown, but you can't handle gore well.
No, I don't.
And they're very gory, but they're so freaking good. Anybody who's seen the Terrifier, especially part 3, come on. Anybody who's seen that reference with the girl, listen, it was some of the nastiest shit I've ever seen in my life. That girl using a piece of glass. We know what she did with it.
You know what's crazy? Now that I think about it, because you know how I have my affinity for animals. It's crazy because I actually, as somebody who, periodically I have, hunt, things of that nature. Do you see Mr. Cadbury? Do you see him? Did you see him?
No.
Oh, okay. Me as somebody who hunts, it's like I have actually with my grandfather before. I have actually gut fish. I've gut deer. You see what I'm saying? So it's crazy how, yeah, you're right. I actually don't do too good, love, with horror when it comes to the gore part. But for some reason in real life, yeah, like, I can clean out a chicken or a turkey or something and it's nothing. But for some reason with movies, it's like, I don't know. I just got an issue with it.
I mean, I understand that because with my background, I went to college for Jesus Christ, forensic pathology. So we went to what they call the body farm, right? And it's people who donate their bodies to science for different reasons. Well, they donate their body to science, but the farm itself will put them in different situations. Like there might be there might be somebody on fire, there might be someone who's buried halfway in the dirt, there might be someone who's hanging. They want to show all of these things so that you are prepared. And they also, if you decide you want to get into fiddle me sticks, I can't think of the name of it, but where you study bugs to see how long how long it takes the bug to come there, so it could tell you how long the body's been there. They also do those things too. So and I have an ironclad stomach. It doesn't bother me at all, but I'm going to tell you.
So you've never watched a horror movie and lost your appetite?
Never one time, but I can say the other day, well, not the other day, maybe 2 weeks ago. Mind you, I got kids. Ever since I had surgery, my daughter threw up the other day, and it doesn't bother me. I went to go clean it up, and as soon as I went to clean it up, I was throwing up. So now my stomach is not an ironclad stomach like I thought it was. And I have experienced dead bodies on multiple levels from dealing with the body farm. Literally, the bodies on fire, the bodies decomposed under the ground that we had to dig up, bodies that were in trunks, things that you would never expect. But I literally was throwing up, just trying to wipe up the throw up. So that tells you.
You were actually able to not. Were these like dummy decoys, or these were real bodies?
These were real bodies. They were bodies that people donated their bodies to science for this reason, to help with things. When I tell you, it irritated me so bad because I felt like I could smell dead in my hair for months. And nobody else said they could smell it, but I could smell it. These were real bodies. These weren't props.
That's disturbing. You got a comment?
It's an awesome class. If you are interested in that type of thing, I did it for about 3.5 years. It was supposed to be a 6-year course. I ended up getting I had a full academic scholarship. It was a great course. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Then I ended up getting a what do you call it? Shoot, I can't even think of the word right now. What is the word when not an internship, but externship? Externship? Yes. I think it was to the FBI in Quantico, because I didn't live here in this area. I lived about 3 hours away. And I got an externship, and I was to live on the campus and train there. However, I ended up getting pregnant while I was there, and that instantly took my externship away. Like, I could still do it, but I had already had a child. So the second child would have been, long story short, no. I couldn't do it anymore. So I had to drop out of the program, but I'm back in the program now. So yeah, it's fun. If it's something that you enjoy in that type of situation, you definitely should go for it. It's definitely not too late.
Let's go ahead and get to it. So let's look at exactly where we are.
Never worked in a morgue, but I would love to.
You want to work in a morgue?
No, she said, have you worked in a morgue before? I have never worked in a morgue before, but I also was thinking about making my certificate a for working in a morgue, but no, because I would have to be a nurse. I'm not a nurse. Yeah, but I only deferred away from it because I have a problem with babies. I can't do children or any type of situation like that, because I was considering the working in the morgue. But I can't do babies. And the job I'm trying to do right now is, I really just want to work in a lab. I just want to do the forensics of working in a lab, not actually anything hands-on, like in the field. I don't want to go, do the bodies or anything. I just want to do forensics in the lab.
So you want to be Bunsen and Beaker?
Yes.
Let's go ahead and get back to it. Let's keep on rocking out. And yes, as we smelling oh so good over here right now. Respect. It's your ass, girl. I swear I don't lie. You silly.
For that to get into pop culture the same. It's one of the biggest, and still you could probably ask 100 people who Art the Clown is, and only a fraction of them would.
That was I heard of it was a Santa movie they made that was like Santa X or something. Yeah, he had an axe. Type it in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. It was a Santa horror movie. It's like recent. It's like maybe the last 5 years or so. absolutely horrible. Why? I'm tired of y'all taking Christmas movies and trying to listen.
I love a horror.
No. Let me ask you a question. Do you see Halloween incorporating Christmas? No. When it's Halloween, it's Halloween. Can you leave Christmas alone, please? Just for us who actually really does love the diversity and difference of the holidays. Why are you making that face?
You said you don't see Halloween. You say you don't see Halloween incorporate Christmas. No. But how is Halloween? How would Halloween be incorporating Christmas? Because it's horror.
And exactly, how do you incorporate horror into Christmas? That's my point.
You can't. It happens. It's great. They have great movies that incorporate.
You see how one-sided we are?
They have great movies that incorporate horror into Christmas, and I love them. I love a great horror Christmas movie. Like, I could go watch one right now. You want to watch one? Look it up here.
You want to watch one? You trying to look at something? Trying to go Netflix and chill? Stop playing with me, girl.
Would know who he is compared to, do they know Freddy in Nightmare on Elm Street? Do they know Jason in Friday the 13th? It's not a knock. It's just how it became such a part of the pop culture and society. And that's why Hollywood keeps going back to that time period to try to mine and just sort of more like plunder those characters and those franchises and those movies today for your soft reboots, your remakes, your this, your that, your other. They can never capture that because they tend to take out what made them so special back then. They don't do the practical effects the same way. They rely on CGI. They are more worried about being offensive to people than back then. The whole point was to be offensive, was to be in your face, to be scary.
I absolutely agree, and I'm going to give my perfect example on that. Nowadays, love, they find it too offensive, right? To actually show a lot of times, like, you know, real scenes that actually happen. For some reason, I believe that's why, like, women always have to somewhat win in a fight. Because it's like, nah, we can't make it seem like, remember what you were saying on the movie with Kevin Hart, right? Remember when they was in that limousine? And I was like, what is going on? Now, recap what you was telling me why he was moving the way he was moving when I was like, when you said he don't want to fight the girls.
Oh, when they were fighting him? Because I think in a lot of movies, they're not going to make it look like the man is the aggressor. They don't want to make it look like that because that's giving domestic violence. They're not going to make it look like the man is the aggressor. So the girls was beating the shit out of him. All he was doing was just defending himself. And at one point, I mean, he didn't even really defend himself. He was literally like blocking hits and everything. It wasn't until the last minute when he felt like he was being so threatened that he had to hit the hell out of one of them with a bottle. But I feel like in movies they're never going to depict the man. They excuse me, hiccups. They do in certain movies, but a lot of movies they're never going to depict the man as being aggressive to the woman. So, which is crazy because it's a double standard, but that's what they do.
Let's get back to it.
Be entertaining. They didn't care. Now there are all these guardrails in place to keep them from being what they were. So you're trying to copy that success by using that name recognition and that style, but you can't connect to audiences because you're removing a lot of the foundations of what allowed those things to connect with audiences. You don't have the practical effects the same way. You don't have the stories the same way. You don't have the ability to not worry about being offensive or being exploitive or anything like that. You're too consumed with all that. And then when you deliver it to the audience, you don't have a way to connect with them because if it does make it to the theater, it's at the theater and gone just like that. Then it's on streaming and then it's forgotten about just a couple of weeks later. It can't permeate society the same way, and it can't connect with people when it has the soul of everything it was taken away. Name recognition and character recognition is not enough, and they understood that then.
All right, my friends. So this is the point during the edit where I decided, wait a minute.
a lot of you right now are probably
Wait
getting
a
upset
minute.
with.
Lost Boys was a horror?
I mean, I think anything that's a vampire movie is considered a horror movie. Lost Boys. What's the other one?
The scariest moment was when they say, "Come out to play." That's it.
It's still horror.
Really?
Vampirism, ghost, werewolves. All of that is considered horror because it's scary. They're generally eating people, snatching their throats out.
You know what vampire movie messed my head up?
Don't you say Vampire in Brooklyn, because if you do,
Absolutely not. No, even worse. Blackula. I'm not playing.
But it's crazy because I don't like excuse me. I don't like vampire movies, but I do love. And I honestly, I'm gonna feel stupid right now because I can't think of what it's called. Don't remember. But it's the vampire movie with where they're in like a Winnebago, they drive to this place, it's in the middle of the desert, it's called Titty Twister.
You talking about Desperado?
No, it's not that. If you say what it's called, I'll know what it is.
You talking about what?
And they're only truckers are alive inside of the place,
And they go inside the bar,
and it's a dad, his daughter, and his little girl. Well, she's like probably 16, and his son. And they go inside of this place, and it's like, oh, it's only for truck drivers. And he's like, well, I'm a truck driver. I'm just not in my truck.
Right.
So they let him in, and it's a bunch of vampires in there, and they like start fucking up the place. And it's Selma Hayek in there, and she has like that snake.
That's no. That's Dusk Till Dawn.
Yes, that's exactly what.
Dusk Till
That's
Dawn.
my favorite. I will watch
Dusk
that all
Till
day
Dawn.
long. I will watch it all day long.
Yeah.
So yes, they consider all of these vampire and stuff movies horror. Yes, it's horror. It's definitely horror, but that's my favorite one, and I will watch it all day long. And I can watch. They made like 3 of them, and the other 2 sucked real bad. I don't know why they decided to do that, but
That's why I said when they was inside the bar and Shorty was she was stripping on the stage with the snake.
yes.
That was my scene.
And you know, Selma Hayek still looks exactly like that. They redid they did a scene like for her remake. She still look exactly the same. How she look the same fucking 25, 30 years later with that same body with a snake? I'm just so jealous.
Let's get it.
Me. You're saying I'm cherry picking. You're saying I'm just old and out of touch, that I'm just full of nostalgia and movies didn't used to be that great and they're so much
There it is
better
right there.
now and they're so much culturally more relevant now and they are so much
at this
more
motherfucker, what's
impactful
name?
and have
And
so much
fucking
more
what's the name?
social commentary and have
I know.
so much more than they used to. And those movies were just cheesy and they didn't matter. So I decided I wanted to play this little game. And we're going to do this very simply. I want you to picture things in your head as you see footage rolling of just horror movie fun.
That's my shit. I love me some Bruce Campbell.
Who you going to call? I see dead
That's
people.
Emily Bill too.
You're going to need a bigger boat.
I remember my dad took me to go see that daggone movie People Under the Stairs. Again, mess my head up. I ain't even want to go back to the car.
What's your favorite scary movie? 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you.
3, 4, better lock your door.
What's your favorite scary movie? Your favorite scary one?
Honestly, I don't think I have a favorite
All right,
scary movie,
let's
but
go with, no. How about this? Let's go with classic, and then let's go with today. Your favorite classic, your favorite today.
okay. So my favorite classic scary movie would probably be.
That's what she sounds like. That's exactly what she.
You're nasty. My favorite scary movie would probably be. I can't get it off the tip of my tongue. Dag nabbit. Okay, let's go with my now favorite scary movie. My now favorite scary movie would probably be Maybe one of the. I don't.
Saw.
Okay, so my classic scary movie would be Rose Red. If anybody knows about Rose Red, Stephen King's Rose Red, right? Then we got my new. It would be a tie between Rose Red and Storm of the Century. If anybody's seen those, you guys know. Okay, but my most newest scary movie. I don't know.
It's too because
It's too many.
It's too many.
I would say, no.
How
Honestly,
about
I would
this?
say
What was the-
Obsession. I would say Obsession. If anybody has seen Obsession, you know that it's crazy, and baby, you know Obsession is crazy. Yes.
He was the epitome of incel. He was, like, for real. Let's go.
Long live the new flesh. Here's Johnny.
That's
What are you waiting for? Get to the chopper. I ain't got time to bleed. Sometimes dead is better. It rubs the lotion on its skin or it gets the hose again. We all go a little mad sometimes. They're here. Death by stereo. They're only noodles, Michael. The power of Christ compels you.
Pulp Fiction. Is that in horror? No? Really? No, not Pulp Fiction?
We have such sights to show you.
No.
Welcome to Fright Night for real. Wolfman's got nards. Send more paramedics. They're coming for you, Barbara. We'll
That right there. My father used to stay getting me with that one. They coming to get you, Barbara. I swear on mother, bruh. Man, and look, I'm black and white version, bruh. I don't care. Forget any other version, bruh. Black and white version, bruh. Night of the Living Dead. My goodness gracious. And listen, I know all of us felt the same way. The brother made it all the way to the end and got shot between the eyes right at the very end as the credits is rolling. Like, we couldn't even get him to make it through the credits. I
used to do that to my daughter.
We'll tear your soul apart.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Welcome to prime time, bitch. Hail to the king, baby.
Oh, that was Rose Red.
Groovy.
That's Rose Red.
Thrill me. Get away from her, you bitch. I've come here to chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum. I'm back. Now, I made a point not to say those lines from movies with any inflection or anything like that. I didn't perform the lines, but I am guessing, because I had this same test done to me, that you could picture the characters, the scenes, what movies those lines came from, what you thought about when you first heard them, and you still use those lines today without me giving you any more context. And we can take that a step further. How about this? Ellen Ripley.
Fun fact, in case people ain't hip about Candyman, you know how we both just know stupid stuff for no reason. You know, those were actual real bees.
Yes.
And he got stung
2,000 times. Yeah. And every time, listen, he told them, this is the thing, he told them that he wanted to use real bees. But as a disclaimer, every time he was stung, he was to receive $500 for every time he was stung. He was stung over 2,000 times. Mind you, that's not the money he made from the movie. That's the money he just made from being stung by bees.
Yeah, facts.
Terminator. Pete Venkman.
That's my shit.
Slimer. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Freddy Krueger. Jason Voorhees. Leatherface. Michael Myers. Carol Ann, Hannibal Lecter, Pinhead, Pennywise, Sheriff Brody. I'm going to bet you can also picture all of those characters in your head very easily in the movies and franchises they come from. And that is my point about the cultural permeation of these characters, of these movies. It was a time when movies transcended where they started as an art form of movies and entertainment and became a part of our pop culture zeitgeist, our framework of knowledge, our foundations, our cultural touchstones that we still go back to today. And before you accuse me of just kind of going back and picking out things to make my point, you can go and even ask AI the best horror quotes of all time. You can look up lists of the best horror quotes.
And all of those are some really good horror quotes. Those are like the best ones ever. Like I would never thought of some of those that are the best horror quotes
of all time. And the only one you're going to find from the last 20 plus years, and it's longer than that now.
Right there. That's it. They're coming to get you, Barbara.
My daughter hated that.
Bruh.
So, Mom, stop it.
I hated this scene, bruh. I hated
And
this
the first time
scene.
I ever showed her where it came from was like 2 years ago, and she was like, "This is the creepiest thing I've ever seen."
Man.
And she was like, "Why is it in black and white?" I said, "It's an old movie, Nuna." She's like, "I don't care. It's creepy.
This-
It's even creepier now that I've seen where it comes from."
I've watched this very movie. I'm not playing, at least, I'm talking about through my childhood, at least bare minimum like 10 to 15 times with Pops, man. Like this was me and Dad's movie right here.
Is I want to play a game from Saw, and that is still really a spiritual 1990s movie. So when I say these movies have a staying power and a cultural relevance that movies today, particularly horror movies, do not have, this is what I mean. You have to ask yourself if you believe that 40 years or 50 years from now, people are going to quote Midsommar or The Witch or any horror movie you see today, or is it much more likely they are going to forget them within a week or two and can't remember any foundationally touchstone type of quotes or moments?
You know what? That is so true. Like he touched on something right there. What do you think about that, love? As far as these movies nowadays, you got something that is scary and everything, but like what new age movie of horror would you say really got like something that really like that scene that stands out? Like how we had back in the day.
I'm gonna tell you right now, one horror movie where the scene that stands out to me is that I don't know if I know everybody's seen this movie.
Horror fans have seen it,
I'm sure. Smile. Y'all ever seen Smile? That part where the sister gets in the car. I mean, the girl gets in the car, and the sister's like, "Where are you going?" And she's like, "I have to go," because she knew her sister was acting weird. And then the sister is standing up really tall, and then her neck U-turns all the way down to her car window, and she takes off. That's some scary shit, and that is something that will stick with me for new horror. If you're talking new horror, that and Spit on Me Sticks. I can't think of the other. I'll think of it later, and I'll let you know.
Okay. All right, let's get through about maybe like 5 more minutes of this, and then we're gonna go ahead and Netflix and chill. All right, let's get to it. What you cheesing, girl?
Or iconic character creations that we had in the 70s, 80s, and 90s, and in some cases before. And that is something that makes those decades so much more than what we have now. Back to the regularly scheduled programming. And that kind of brings us to the 1990s, where innovation sort of met and brought about decline in so many ways. 1990s horror was trying to grow up again. The slashers were on life support at that point, and the studios were more interested in thrillers and being serious with their horror rather than monsters. But here's the thing. The 90s still delivered some of the smartest, most ambitious horror movies ever. You had Silence of the Lambs, which is, I get it, it's a thriller horror, it's an edge. But then you had Candyman exploring this folk horror. You had Event Horizon bringing this cosmic horror to space, this sort of Lovecraftian meets Hellraiser from the 80s type horror. And then you had Wes Craven's A New Nightmare and Scream.
So watch this. Let's do this, love. I want you to name, and I'll go first. And anybody in the chat, don't be shy. You type your selection in as well. I want you to name a horror flick that they never should have made a part 2, a sequel to. They should have just left that one alone. I am going to say shit. Man, it's a tie. It's a tie between two movies. But if I was to have to make my selection, I'm going to say Saw.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, listen, it's a tie.
And
Like I said.
To the first one,
No.
I was going to say Scream. Thank you so much. I was going to say Scream all day long. But
No, I was going to say Saw.
Saw should never, it always,
No.
it's its own genre of, you have to have, you can't say Saw. Saw is, there's 7 Saws. Maybe not, maybe 7, maybe 4, or maybe 3.
No, I
But
think it's that more than that.
I know what you did last summer too. That's also true. There never needed to be another one. But Saw, baby, those were meant to be, they made those movies to be trilogy, not trilogy, you know, a series. They made those movies to be a series. That's
Saw.
the last one though with Spiral with Chris what's his name?
I don't know.
What's the comedian?
I'm not the
Chris.
Oh, with the hand.
With him. That was the dumbest shit I've ever, and he acts so horribly. It was a horrible. But you can't say Saw because all those Saws were necessary and they were all fantastic. What are you watching?
I know what I saw. The needle pit and all of that. I seen all that. I seen Jamie Foxx. I seen Jamie.
Fox was not in none of those.
Wasn't he? Yes, he was. Who was the? Never mind. Listen. I still stay with it. Okay. I'm sticking with my word. Look. The other one that was a tie, I'm gonna say was Saw and Jeepers Creepers. I don't think they should have did a second after that boy face was on it. Like they should have just cut it from right there.
3 Jeepers Creepers.
And they shouldn't have did it too. They shouldn't have did it too.
No, I was okay. No, I actually, honestly, I like part 2 better than I like part 1. However, part 3 was completely unnecessary. It blew the shit out of me and I didn't want to watch it. I literally cut it off and then cut it back on only because I'm going to make sure I finish something. But part 3, no. Part 2, I loved part 2. It's way better than the first one.
When the kids was on the bus?
Yes.
You tripping.
So much better.
You tripping.
You tripping.
The one with the one with the couple on the road and everything and all of that. That was because you know something, that actually was the real story.
I was gonna say true story.
That was a true story of a real couple, but you know it wasn't
it wasn't that much. It was
It wasn't the monster, but yeah, it was an actual, like everything that happened, the church, all of that. So I would say
they found the bodies and all that. Yes, I do know that. Remember, I told you I know fun facts.
Let's get it.
Giving the whole slasher genre a new meta makeover just in time for the 1990s. But this is also where the cracks started to show. The rise in computer-generated imaging, the CGI, the computer-generated effects, began to cheapen that nostalgic, that real, that tactile feel of horror, that real place in time of horror.
It looked way scarier back when this is how horror movies look, bruh. Like just real talk. It did.
The House on the Haunted Hill remake, Spawn, The Haunting. I enjoy these movies, but they might have
All
been
right, so let me ask you this: The Hills Have Eyes, horror?
Yes.
It is horror. Okay.
better if they had stuck to their roots just a little bit and stuck with more practical stuff. Instead, we were on this cutting edge and people wanted to throw all this CGI at it. So now those movies feel very dated and you have to just kind of...
Which one?
That's House on Haunted Hill.
House on Haunted Hill?
No, as far as ghosts, those are two really good movies. Like, so you're talking The House on Haunted Hill. I wouldn't consider it a ghost movie. What did I say the other one was? Haunted. I typically, again, like I said, I don't like vampire, werewolf, or ghost movies, but that haunted movie is, if you're gonna watch a haunted house movie or a movie that has ghosts in it, that is one of the best ones. It's got a lot of jump scares. It's got a lot of just normal scariness and sadness and happiness. It's got all of those things in one. House on Haunted Hill is scary as hell though, and the original and the new one, because the original is from the 50s, and I've watched that too. I like old vintage movies. Yes.
Okay.
Look past that stuff rather than enjoy it for exactly what it was, which you can still do with the majority of 80s and 70s horror. So by the late 90s, you could start to feel the decline a little bit. Theatrical runs got shorter. Rental stores started dying. And then streaming came along years later. And once the physical, aspect was gone, because horror is a physical genre, a tangible.
Say it again.
Do you remember when Netflix was not streaming? It was only DVDs that you ordered through them.
You mean the red box?
No,
Netflix. No, I don't remember that.
yes. Netflix was a I don't know what you call it. I can't remember the word for it, but Netflix. I don't know if anybody ever remembers when Netflix was not a streaming company. It literally was like Blockbuster. You would go online or you would call and you would order what you wanted to see, like whatever movie you wanted to see, and then they mailed them to you. And then when you were done watching them, they had an envelope and you mailed them back.
Really?
Yes, that has how Netflix started.
I had no clue. Yeah, I was outside.
Touchable, physical genre of film. And once it was so physical and that physical aspect started to go away, the practical effects are gone. Now the physical media that you're touching starts to go away. It became disposable. And that is the worst thing that can happen to...
You said Toxic Avenger?
Yeah, they made it's the dude Peter Dinklage, the little midget joint.
Okay.
From he's popular. He's really popular.
I'm not sure.
What's that show with the dragons and stuff?
Game of Thrones?
Yeah, he's in there.
That
little
midget. I know
they
what
made
you're
him be the toxic.
No. Small person. We can't say that.
I'm sorry, small person.
Sorry, YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube.
They made him the Toxic Avenger, and I loved Toxic Avenger when I was young. They also remade Revenge of the Tomatoes.
Attack of the Killer
Killer Tomatoes. Yeah.
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
They remade it.
You remember the Blob?
Yes.
Dumbest damn movie, I swear.
But they were stupid, and we liked them.
And no, because
they're nostalgia.
You know what they made after the Blob? They made movies called Frost and Mist. Then after that,
I didn't see anything called the Frost. I know about the Mist, but the Mist was made.
The Mist was just crazy.
The Mist was like in the 60s or 70s. Then they remade the Mist again.
Yeah,
they did the Fog in like the 60s or 70s. Then they remade the Fog again.
The Fog, that's what I meant to say, not the Frost.
Had the Mist too.
The Fog.
The Mist
I'm
too
sorry,
was
the
a
Fog.
remake.
Yeah.
The Mist 2 was there is a remake. Like I said, it's a Stephen King movie, but I read the book first.
You read the book?
Yeah.
It was a book?
Yeah. That's why I told you. I said the book ends differently than the movie.
I mean, it usually does. Just like He-Man, Masters of the Universe.
Jesus, we're not going to go through the He-Man
in the 80s
again.
than it did in the goddamn movie today. I agree.
film, particularly horror, something that is on the fringes anyway, it can't be disposable, forgettable. It has to make a mark. Once upon a time, you'd go and you'd rent VHS so often that tapes would be wore out in certain spots that were popular, whether they were exploited for kills, nudity, whatever it was, a cool line in the movie. And you'd show your friends like a badge of honor, like this, look at this thing. It's wore out right here. People have been watching this so much. Now, once you watch it, the algorithm recommends 5 more movies, and by tomorrow, you've forgotten what you've even watched. Modern horror isn't cultural anymore. It's just wore out right here. People have been watching this so much. Now, once you watch it, the algorithm recommends 5 more movies. And
they do, but that's what they should. They should recommend things that you're gonna want to watch.
Which one?
This is my shit.
What, The Good Place?
Oh my god.
No, but hold on. You said what is better than Saw?
Better than Saw.
Is that a horror?
No.
Oh, never mind.
And by tomorrow, you've forgotten
these
what
are
you've
horror that are on here.
even watched.
Money Heist is
Modern
horror,
horror
Good Place.
isn't cultural anymore. It's just simply content. I hate it as a filmmaker. I hear this word all the time from studios, from streaming services. We're looking for content. Movies are art. Movies mark the time. They're supposed to be visceral. They're supposed to connect with audience. They're supposed to last. They're supposed to make you feel something, not just pass 90 minutes and be forgotten later. I hate it, but that's what happened in that decline. Began in the late 90s and in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, when the rise of streaming came. It all connects back to there. And because of that, we had the death of the icons. The 70s gave us Michael Myers. They gave us Jaws. You know, the 80s gave us Jason, Freddy, Chucky, Pinhead. The 90s and It in the 1990s. 1990 gave us Pennywise. It gave us Ghostface later on. So since then, what? We get Art the Clown. That's about it. And literally, my son, who's a teenager in high school, he's an art fan, but he tries to talk to it, and over half the kids on his team, they've never even heard of. They don't know who Art the Clown is. They all still know who Freddy is. They all still know who
horror is. It's a different niche of horror. If you never heard of Art the Clown or the Terrifier, the movie Terrifiers, they a lot of people have not heard of it. It's something that's out of the ordinary. It's a different type of horror. It's a dark horror. On top of just being regular horror, it's dark. It's extremely dark. It's extremely gory, and he don't care who he murder, and he will carry your body around with him in a plastic bag, and like, it's just crazy. He will kill a whole building full of people. So it's a different type of horror. So if you never heard of Art the Clown or the Terrifier, who is Art the Clown, check it out. If you like horror, you'll be pleasantly surprised. You're talking about no, it's not based on him.
Jason is. You can go to Halloween Horror Nights in 2025. There's a Jason house. It has one of the longest waits there, even longer than Terrifier, even longer than Five Nights at Freddy's. And that has something to do with the staying power, because that is 45 years old. And we don't know that people will even remember Five Nights at Freddy's or Terrifier 45 years from now. And because right now, over half of them don't even know them now. It's because there's so much content out there. Everybody kind of experienced the same thing. Nightmare on Elm Street at the movie for a year, and then on VHS. Everybody had this time to experience it. Now the algorithm caters to everyone so much that how many times have you gone to a friend? Have you seen this movie? I've never even heard of that movie. Have you?
That is an absolute fact. Absolute fact. I definitely am that friend who has said, I've never even heard of it. No. Nope. Don't know what kind of, what you say what? Oh, okay.
Children of the Corn.
Children of the Corn.
Yes, Stephen King. I did read that Mist, a Stephen King novel prior to the movie coming out, and it is a definitely different ending than what the movie depicted. Yes, And Children of the Corn, yes. Oh, I love some Children of the Corn. Them kids is creepy, and them stupid people just let them kids take over. I mean, I guess they didn't have no choice. The kids had powers, but yes, I also love Children of the Corn too.
All right. Let's go ahead and get back to it, man. Shout out to the Sugar Land in the building.
You seen this show? I've never even heard about this show. What about this show? Have you watched it? No, I've never heard of that, because there's just so much content and so many options. And you're not going to get icons from things like The Babadook or Hereditary. It doesn't lend itself to that. It's random demons and grief. And
That's true. Stephen King has a lot of movies that, a lot of novels that end differently than the movies. And that, I think, 100% is because Stephen King doesn't direct or is not 100% immersed in the movies that are created. So those are different endings. So I do, that is very common.
things like that. It's not to say that all those movies are bad. It's just they're not built for the same rewatchability, the same staying power, the same cultural relevance. And Hollywood knows it. That's why they keep going back to the same wells over and over, remakes, reboots, reimaginings. They're not doing it because they love the 80s. Matter of fact, today's Hollywood, maybe things are starting to shift back the other way now, but for the past 8 years, 10 years or so, they really hated all that those movies stood for, all that they did. They threw the word around problematic, this and that, but they didn't seem to mind mining their audience by taking their names, taking their structures, and trying to get butts in the seats based on those old icons.
So from what I'm hearing, all right, do you get the same message that I believe I'm getting? I'll get that for you. Oh, you got it. You got it. It sounds like what he's saying is that the movies aren't as scary anymore because we don't really get a time to really sit on and really go back. Because I'm not gonna lie, I do remember like Nightmare on Elm Street. My cousin Lala, shout out to my cousin Lala. You know what I'm saying, my Duke side. I remember going over to grandma's house and watching, man, she had everything Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, Chucky, and Leprechaun. Those were her junk, and she literally had the tapes. And I remember how many different times I have seen Freddy's movies. It wasn't just like I saw it that time and that was it. No, I literally remember over and over and over again. You know how many times I saw Annie? Ask me how many times I saw Annie. Babe, ask me how many times I saw Annie.
How many times you saw it?
Too many times for me to have to see. All right, lost count. No, original.
No, I said E.
No, I never seen the remake. No. Too many damn
The
times.
original is technically a musical, so.
And I hate musicals. Anyway, I can't stand because I mean it's just weird to me. Like you just talking in a restaurant and all of a sudden everybody busts out in unison and everybody knows what dance move to move.
We knew this was a musical before.
I'm just saying, but the way it's set up is just weird because I'm like, where in real life do you just see everybody in unison just get up and start dancing? Everybody knows word for word where to move, where to slide. This person know when to bring the flag up. This person tossing the plate to him.
The heat of the moment.
I just think it's very fraudulent. I just think it's false advertisement. It doesn't depict real life. Just saying.
Old IPs, but then they remove everything that made them great in order to be approved for modern audiences and streaming content. So it was almost like a bait and switch. It's not because they loved them, it's because they worked, but they just couldn't stomach putting in what made them work today.
I said, is it about the rain? It's super dark out.
It's overcast. Yeah. It's DMV. Like it'll look like it's about to rain now. Turn right around. I mean, Lord knows. Lord knows.
You got Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That is the newest one. That was
So
applaud.
they
They remade that very well.
All right, so bet. Let's go with this question right here. What old school movies have they revamped that they actually did a good job at? Go.
I don't know. I'm gonna say Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I'm old as hell, so I'm gonna say two movies, The House on Haunted Hill and 13 Ghosts. Those were movies made in the 50s that they remade, and they did a really good job doing them. I'm gonna say I'm trying to think of the other one. I'm gonna say they did really good with it. I mean, it brought out some things that normally were not in the initial movie, but I will say it was created. It was really good. They remade it pretty good.
You gotta pull your comments up, baby. All right. That's because they're what's that? They're a horror. Freddie Jason. What's that? Who's? Okay. So, I mean, what you mean by that, Jen? Like, as far as like, there's always, you know what I'm saying? Like what you like, cause they're always. I don't know, cause I stepped away. You good? It's just a hiccup. It's just a hiccup, girl. You good? Let's go.
And maybe some of that's changing now, but the fact is they ran out of ideas, and every time they do, they go back to the golden age of horror. Modern
Stephen King. He's good.
horror is kind of terrified of being fun. It has been for a while now. It's but more than anything, it's terrified of
It was initially a book, of course, first, just like I read it before I saw the movie. The Stand was also a book, then a movie. Then they made a series out of it, and Whoopi Goldberg was the main character.
What?
Yes.
They made a movie scary with Whoopi Goldberg.
It wasn't a movie. There was a movie, and then they created a series. And she was yes.
Was it good?
I never watched the series, but I did. The movie was good.
Was it a book?
It was a book first. I read the book first. I read a lot of things before I watch movies. I don't know why.
Okay. So how do you feel about Alex Cross, James Patterson? Tyler Perry.
I myself have. I've always said I wanted to read an Alex Cross or James Patterson book. I never have.
I've read damn near every last one. Now that's a novel series I'm very well versed in.
And I'm pretty sure that it's good because I've heard so many. She said the volume is low, baby.
Oh, the volume low? Hold on. There we go.
I have read a lot of books. I read a lot of books. But I have a lot of friends that read those James Patterson, Alex Cross novels, and they talk about how good they are. But I am like my ideal. Like I don't read my favorite. What did she say?
No, she said it's good.
No, she said something else.
What?
Yes, they. So have you heard that they're there's a new Carrie about to come out in a few weeks. They remade it again. I don't know how many times they're going to remake it. It looks really good. It looks so good, which makes sense because now a lot of remakes of movies they're making, I know a lot of people are going to talk crap about it, about the CGI, but they can make better because they have better effects now and things. And it looks really good. It's coming out in just a couple weeks. I want to say it's coming out in September. Don't quote me on that. But I can't remember what I was talking about.
He was talking about I'm not sure.
I don't remember either.
Let's get to it.
Go back.
taking risks. Hollywood is so risk averse, especially with horror, because horror is exploitative in nature. It exploits fear. It exploits sex, violence, nudity, the fear of death, all that stuff. It's exploitative. And so because of that, it doesn't fit well.
I didn't know that was
I didn't realize it had no. I didn't really have caffeine till I bought it because the store only didn't have any non-caffeine drinks, like non-bubbles.
You good?
You know, I can't drink soda.
Okay. Good. I'm glad you don't drink a lot of soda.
With the idea of what movies should be and what content in movies should be over the past decade or so. So now everything has all of that stuff sort of washed and sanitized out of it, and everything is a metaphor now, a metaphor for grief, trauma, motherhood, whatever. And sometimes that's fine. Like, there's different flavors of horror.
I didn't really consider Get Out more so as a horror than a
Psychological thriller.
yeah. So even sci-fi.
I'm not getting a sci-fi. I'm getting a psychological thriller from that.
All that's fine. But sometimes you just want to see a guy in a hockey mask skewer a camp counselor like a human kebab and enjoy how they did it, how that comes down, all that kind of stuff, without all the metaphor, without having be lectured to by the script about why you shouldn't enjoy this and why you should be shamed for enjoying those that came before like this. You just want to have a good time, and Hollywood has been very risk averse to that, but there's still that golden age of time between the 70s and sometime in the 90s when all of that existed, and we can go back to it. There's a reason why the 4K restorations of those movies today outsell everything else. So when you think about it like that, think about and ask yourself, what made horror better in the 70s, 80s, 90s than now?
Answer that. If you still there, Jen, what's your answer on that, honestly? Like, what made it better then as opposed to now, in your personal opinion?
Simply, it was made for us. It was made for the horror fan. It wasn't engineered by algorithms or sanitized by committees checking off certain boxes about what's culturally relevant, what's okay for the modern audience, what it's saying over here with this metaphor, or saying over there about this social commentary. It wasn't that. It was messy. It was gritty. It was experimental. It was personal. It was passionate. You could feel the fingerprints literally on the special effects. The movie.
Yes.
Well, which one? Hold on, wait. Hold on. I gotta catch up. Go ahead, what now? Oh, wait, what about the movie Mother?
Wait, is the movie Mother, is that the crazy one, or it was the one with Jennifer Lopez where she was like the mother who gave her kid up and then she had to... That wasn't horror, so that's probably not what you're talking about. But yes, I did also watch Bates Motel, the series, which explains why he was crazy as hell. Yes. And it made me love him, which is why I started watching the show that he had where he was the doctor who was autistic.
Okay. The question, Jen, was why is 70s, 80s, and 90s horror better than horror today, in your personal opinion?
Movies found their audiences organically through drive-ins, midnight screening, fan magazines, conventions, VHS rentals, word of mouth of your friends. You discovered horror. You earned horror. It became a part of the cultural zeitgeist because it was accessible, tangible, and rebellious, not because it was sanitized, not because it was
That's what I was saying. Like, some of these movies they're showing on the list is crazy.
Trying to reach everyone at the expense of the core audience. Not everything is for everyone, and that's okay. That's okay, and they understood that. And when something like A Nightmare on Elm Street hit big, it didn't just make money. It created a movement. It created an icon. The characters became Halloween costumes. The posters became bedroom art. And the quotes became part of the popular lexicon. That is cultural staying power. Today's horror, it rarely sticks. The movie comes out on Friday. It hits streaming by Monday, and it is forgotten by Wednesday. They are content, not cinema, and you cannot build legends. You cannot build staying power. You cannot on content. So no, old horror movies weren't perfect. Don't think that I'm saying that. In fact, half of them were trash. A lot of them were trash. Were they technically good movies? No. But even the trash, the bad movies, have entertainment value. They dreamers and weirdos, the weird beard dude, the crazy who grew up on horror magazines and all this stuff. He wasn't thinking about making it with a computer. He was thinking about making it with his hands. How could he do it in camera? Get that right angle to sell it to his audience so that they would be talking about it 40 years later, like the American Werewolf in London transformation. I love it. They wanted to build something awesome, something cool, not something that would trend on TikTok or.
So, all right, I'm just now, see, I'm looking at my device, love. See how it's doing that? Yeah, and you see how I got real dark down here? Yeah, it got real dark. Looks like we got to navigate each other through the dark. I'm just saying. Riaz, what's going on with you, sir? Yeah, no, I had to pull the video down, y'all, because yeah, you're right, love. Yeah, I think it's getting ready to storm real bad. So my 9 times out of 10, knowing me, this daggone YouTube and StreamYard is going to start acting funny. But what was we getting ready to watch? What's the next one we gonna watch? Michael Jackson, right? Yeah. All right, yeah. So we getting ready to watch Michael Jackson. We're gonna go ahead and watch Michael Jackson. I haven't seen it yet. I actually haven't seen it just yet. So that's the next one on our list that we're gonna watch. Riaz, did you want to add anything about the topic that we was talking about today when it comes to the horror films, and how do you feel about them?
The horror films today, I kind of agree with you, and as I was saying, with some of the horror films nowadays, though, bro, not scary. Some of them are bare funny the way they look, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, because look, you know, the way, it's not just the graphic, it's the way they, you know, the movement and stuff like that, right? It's also funny. So instead of being scary, you just can't help yourself laughing.
Which movie you talking about you still want to see, Mo? Which one you said you want to see, if you still here? But okay. So nah, that's what's up. Nah, I want to make sure you. You say what?
Sorry, I watched. You know, the microphone you talk about. I watched some clips of it.
Oh, she watched some clips of it. She hasn't seen it.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's streaming now on Prime for free.
Oh, yeah, the MJ movie. Yeah, nah, we're going. Yeah, you said it's streaming free.
It's streaming free now on Amazon Prime for free.
Oh, okay. All right, there we go. I think Riaz dropped down, but that's okay because we definitely getting ready to get up out of here. And much respect to the family. You got anything you want to say before we go?
No.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's it on that one. So until next time, I'm gonna go ahead and get back to I guess being miserable. I love y'all.
Welcome to the lighthouse. Storm